Alright, so this is update number 4 of 12 of my attempt of trying to go from $0 to $1 million in earned revenue in 12 months. What's up everyone, my name is Ben and welcome to Rare Liquid, a channel where I draw from my experience as a former JP Morgan investment banking analyst to cover tech investing and career advice. In case you are new to these update videos, at the beginning of each month I provide a progress update of my attempt of trying to go from 0 to $1 million in 12 months. And really, it's not about necessarily hitting the goal, but really showing you how I build Rare Liquid in real time. But of course, hitting that goal would be nice. If you have been following my journey so far, you know that in update number 1, I gave myself a less than 5% chance of being able to hit the goal. In update number 2, I gave myself a 5% chance. And in update number 3, I gave myself again back to less than 5% chance because I had a pretty subpar April. Today in the review of May's results, basically I would give myself now a 5 to 10% chance of being able to hit my goal. I have gotten some more extra confidence because I've had a pretty solid month, and why don't we just go straight into that. Alright, so today's agenda looks like this. I'll first discuss May's results. I'll then go over some strategy updates, some reflections on my journey so far, and end with some giveaway info. First up, let's go over May's results. If you have been following my updates, then this chart should look pretty familiar, and green means that the goal has been met, red means that it hasn't been met, and yellow means that I'm somewhat in between, and that's pretty much how I would define the month of May. In terms of subscribers, I saw a 14,452 subscriber jump, which really breathed life into this whole documentary and made hitting $1 million slightly more probable. As you see, in April, I only grew by about 1,700 subscribers, which is less than the 4,600 or so I gained in March, so I was pretty concerned in my last update. As you could probably guess, the subscriber count is really what drives my entire business pretty much right now, and so that's why I was pretty concerned last month when the progress was a little bit slow and actually decelerating, but we had a pretty good month in May, and I'll kind of go more into how exactly that happened in a few moments. But going back to the chart, with the increase in subs and video views on my page, I was able to earn $4,188 from YouTube ads, which was just really mind-blowing to me as we blew past the $3,000 goal. Looking at my YouTube analytics, you can see that I had a huge peak in the middle of the month for views, watch time, subscribers, and revenue. And all of it really is the result of this one video that went viral on how I spent my JP Morgan investment banking salary. That video got 406,449 views in May, and a lot of the other banking related videos on my channel also did pretty well. At the peak, I gained 1,900 subscribers in one day and about $417, which was just wild, and I really couldn't believe it was happening, to be honest. Another probably interesting fact for you is that one video with about 400k views earned me $2,745 in YouTube ad revenue. I think the video did well because it might just be kind of a more innately interesting topic and applicable to a lot more people rather than a lot of my other investing videos or other career related videos that are kind of more niche. Going back to the chart, as a result of that video and just the month in general, I also saw a really big increase in Patreon from $358 to $1,492. And it would have been great to hit the $1,500 goal, but I do think hitting next month's goal may be possible if I'm able to hit my subscriber goals. The payout for this month was $1,492, as you can see here, but currently on Patreon it shows $1,033, and this isn't because I lost a lot of Patreons, but because the settings on Patreon are set so that those who sign up are charged right away, and then all users are again charged on the first of every month thereafter. This wasn't the setting that I had before, but I noticed that a good number of Patreons that were signing up just kind of signed up, kind of looked at all the information I had on Discord and my buy sell alerts and things like that, and then would kind of de-pledge. So that's why I made this change. Like I've said in previous videos, I'm really trying to make my Patreon the most valuable and kind of bang for your buck Patreon that exists for investing. And one really important key update is that I signed a distribution agreement with FactSet, which is an institutional level kind of financial database that I used even at my time at JP Morgan and costs the average individual investor $15,000 a year. I send a weekly financial database that I personally use myself, all downloaded from FactSet, and obviously I'm biased, but I think that this weekly database itself is pretty much worth it to sign up for my Patreon for those who kind of know what these financial figures mean and are interested in doing some research themselves. Over the coming weeks, I'm also working on a newsletter that I'll be sending out. There will be a free version and also will be special ones for patrons according to their tiers. So I think the Patreon in general will be a lot more stickier as time goes on with more and more that I add to it. And so yeah, we'll see how it goes moving forward in the next few months. Now going back to the chart, I severely missed the affiliate and sponsors goal, but let me explain why I'm optimistic about hitting next month's goal. Over the past month or so, I've gotten more than 20 requests from sponsors, but I've been really super picky because I only want to promote products that I would either use myself or currently use myself. With that said, I currently have 5 sponsors lined up that want to sponsor 60-second ads in my videos and multiple videos for some of them. And they're offering somewhere between $500 to $1,000 per video. And so that's why I think I can hit the $3,500 goal in June. I know that ads in videos is not super ideal, but I do plan to make all of the ads that I do super well integrated into the videos so that it's hopefully helpful also to viewers who get to be introduced to some products that I personally use myself. And also, I think I'm pretty committed to just trying to make it a win-win for sponsors and myself and the viewers, just because, you know, the more people that convert, the better it is for the sponsors and the more that they will be willing to pay in the future. But also, you know, from my previous business with Aesthetic Studios, which was a clothing business, I worked with over 90 influencers, and sometimes I would send them clothes and they wouldn't even post on their Instagrams or TikToks or whatever with the clothes on. And that was just super frustrating. So I'm really committed in being a really good partner for sponsors. And yeah, hopefully over the next few months or so, I'll see what kind of feedback I get. If people think that the ads are a little bit too much, maybe I'll, you know, try to take some of them out, or, you know, we'll see how that goes. But it's a new part of the business and I'm kind of excited to see how it goes. The other thing I wanted to mention was about affiliate links, and I didn't actually even know that I was gaining some pretty decent traction with affiliate links until I started putting this video together. I have links that I leave in my video descriptions, and for the companies you see here, when people use these links, I get free money through Bitcoin, stocks, or cash. I'm going to be updating all the previous descriptions in my previous videos with the new affiliate programs I've signed up for. And so in addition to the sponsors that I'll be working with in June, I feel relatively confident, I guess, that we'll be hitting the $3,500 goal for sponsors and affiliates in the month of June. Once again, going back to the chart though, I haven't started the courses or clothing part of the business yet, so there's no revenue there. But one important thing to note is that I think the courses will almost 100% be pushed back by 2 to 3 months. This is just because I've been pretty busy over the past few months, so I haven't been able to make a lot of progress with the courses so far. So I just think that it'll take some time. And I also want to make sure that it's a really good course and something that's really worth the money. And so I'd rather have a really great, fantastic product versus something that I really just push out there to try to hit my revenue goals. As a reminder, I'm not going to be changing any of the initial goals I set out in my first video, so they'll be consistently the same throughout all of the update videos. And overall, in the month of May, I was able to hit $5,849, which was super close to the $6,000 goal. In general, even though I didn't necessarily hit my goal for the month of May, I am pretty excited about the progress made so far, and I have a lot of really good videos in the pipeline for the month of June. And so I think there's a good chance I'll be able to hit this next upcoming month's goals. Next up, let me provide 3 key strategy updates. The first one is that I decided to stop translating the captions into other languages. Over the past few months, and as I kind of stated in my previous update videos, I hired translators who would translate our captions from English to Korean and Chinese. And we were just putting a lot of resources and energy into this. We were posting on some Korean blogs and things like that. We got a little bit of traction here and there, but basically didn't really see enough from all the money being put in and all the time into it. So basically I decided to kind of just not focus on that and think more about and work on what has been working. The second strategy update is a pretty big one, and it's that I decided to focus Rare Liquid on 2 niches, which is tech investing and career advice. And I know I was kind of already making these kinds of videos before, but beforehand, I was kind of just making whatever videos I felt like. And now I decided to really commit to these two niches. And, I think there's a lot of pros and cons to this. I think if you only have one niche, then YouTube can much more easily feed your videos to the right audience, but your growth might be a little bit capped. And with two niches, you kind of have the opposite problem where the YouTube algorithm might be a little bit confused when they try to push your videos to different kinds of audiences in your subscriber base. But at the same time, I think in the long run, if I'm able to pull it off, it will provide more opportunities for growth. And the last thing I'll mention about this probably is just that, I think the two niches that I have of kind of finance and investment banking career stuff and the tech investing side do have some overlaps. So I think that I can make it work, and we'll see, of course, how it goes over these next few months. To keep things organized, I'll be posting career related videos on the weekends and stock and crypto and tech investing type related videos on the weekdays. And in addition to this, I also started a Rare Liquid Careers Patreon and Discord. No one has signed up for it yet as of today because I haven't been really pushing it too hard, but hopefully over time I can build it out and it'll be an additional revenue stream. The third strategy update is that I decided to focus on less marketing channels and really kind of hone in on the ones that have been working or are the ones that I think are most important. In my last video, I had 14 different marketing channels, but that was really spreading things out way too thinly. And now I'll be focusing on these top 5 channels here and the remaining 3 whenever I have the time. The one channel that I haven't really talked about before is the newsletters, and I haven't started sending any out yet, but I actually hired someone to join the team to help out with this, and I'm pretty excited for it. I think he's gonna do a great job, and basically over the next 2 weeks or so, you should be getting newsletters if you have signed up for it. If you haven't already, check out the link in the description below. Next up, I wanted to share some reflections I've had on the journey so far. The first one is that truthfully, I kind of oscillate between the idea of whether or not this whole documentary is kind of a good thing for me or a bad thing. I think it's especially true when things aren't going super well, like last month, the month of April, where I really was super far from hitting my goals. And then in the month of May, everything was going kind of great. And so it was kind of like easier for me to digest and, really want to post about this documentary. But, in the next few months or 6 months, the goals that I have laid out are really, really ambitious. I'm not super confident or trying to get, all cocky that just because I had one good month, I'm gonna be able to scale up to all the numbers that I have, because it's not easy. I need to keep producing really good content and I need to, build out this base, and there's no guarantees that it's gonna happen. On the good side of things, having all these goals made public kind of really helps keep me disciplined, motivated, and always thinking about, keeping myself accountable. And I actually think that's a pretty good thing. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, it kind of forces me sometimes to make sure that I'm producing content and things like that. And I got pretty tired at the end of May, and so I actually didn't post for almost a week. And now I feel energized, and better and kind of ready to keep producing good content. So, I'm not too worried about like burning out or anything, because I really do enjoy building out Rare Liquid. I think I just kind of needed to take a break. And so yeah, there's some good and bad parts to just publicizing this whole documentary. And I think overall though, I would say that it is a net positive, because it does, really keep me motivated and going. And I think also the more important thing is looking back after this whole, journey is over, I'm going to be able to see all of, the progress I've made and all the real-time updates that I have, right? And so, I think it'll just be maybe a little bit nostalgic and just basically something good to look back on. The second reflection that I've had is that I'm increasingly realizing that time is my most valuable asset. Now, I think this is something that's true for everyone. This is just something I'm personally bringing up right now because my channel is not even really that big in the grand scheme of things and compared to other channels, but I've just been getting so many requests on LinkedIn, Instagram DMs, Discord, everywhere. People are kind of constantly asking me questions and things like that. And sometimes, I can't reply, or I'll just, delete an email, and it makes me feel really bad. And I used to reply to, every single YouTube comment, every single message that I got. And now it's I've kind of realized that if I don't prioritize the other more important things, like, focusing on producing really good content, which is the number one priority, then, I'm not going to be able to grow the community or build out the business in the way that I want to. So, if you're part of the Patreon or Discord community, and also in a lot of the YouTube comments, I still do reply whenever I have the time. So, it's not like I'm not replying to anything, but yeah, overall, I'm just realizing that I need to really prioritize the really important things. The third reflection that I have is that I'm just pretty amazed at the power of this YouTube business, especially compared to my previous entrepreneurial experience, Aesthetic Studios, where I started a fashion brand, you know, where I was burning through a ton of cash in order to produce products every 6 months, show the world, okay, here are the clothing products I have, and then, you know, here, crickets, no one buying anything. You know, it's like a 6-month feedback loop versus something like YouTube where I post a video and someone instantly tells me if they like it or don't like it through either comments or liking the button or disliking. And, you know, not only that, but there's like almost zero cost if I really wanted to for this business as well. So it's really like asset light. Meaning like, you know, I already bought my camera, I have my computer. If I really wanted to, I could just be a one-man show and do everything myself and basically have zero cost except just my own food and whatever, right? And so, yeah, it's just crazy that I could scale this business up to a certain degree. Now, of course, I personally don't think that, you know, doing it all by myself is the way to go because I want to grow things a lot bigger and a lot faster. So I've hired people out and things like that. I paid for software services, like I mentioned, FactSet, which are kind of relatively expensive. And I'm going to be adding a few more kind of investing related software that's also kind of expensive. So basically, you know, but in general, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel like YouTube or content creation, you know, I think if you are someone who is maybe in the rat race or is kind of stuck in the 9 to 5 kind of thing, and you're just thinking about, oh, whether or not I should create content, I really think it's worth it. To be honest, I never thought that I'd be a full-time content creator. Having a public persona and everything at the beginning, it was just so weird to me. And it kind of, I guess, still is. I'm only 4 months into this journey, so I'm still relatively small channel and not a lot of people know me or whatever. So, you know, I don't really even care about becoming an influencer or anything like that. That was never my goal. I just want to create some really good content. And I think having a big subscriber count and whatnot is kind of proof that I would be able to create good content, right? And I think that's what kind of excites me. It's not like I'm a super hot, good looking girl or anything like that, right? So anyway, I don't know why I went on that tangent. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that if you are thinking about making content, I think TikTok or YouTube are really the best 2 channels right now. And if you can get over that hump of just getting your face out there and, you know, creating content or whatever, I think that it's a super great business that you can scale up pretty well. Really great opportunity for a lot of people, no matter who you are. Last up, let's talk about giveaways and how to get some free money. In my last update video, I promised to give away 10% of my May YouTube earnings, and that came out to $584.90. I found this random comment picker for Instagram, and so as you can see, our winner is Saturated Positivity. And so if that's you, please DM me on Instagram and I will send you your winnings. Okay, now let's talk about how you can get some free money. First of all, for June's giveaway, I'll still be giving away 10%, but splitting it up into 2 pieces. The first portion will be 5% that I give away, and look for this Warren Buffett picture on my Instagram. It's gonna be pretty much the same thing that I did for my last Instagram giveaway. Just follow the account, like the picture, and tag 3 friends, and there's unlimited entries. For the remaining 5%, I mentioned in my previous update video, I think in my first one, that I wanted to be able to generate a lot of revenue and money and basically give away as much of it as I could as well. And so I'm gonna be starting a mini kind of scholarship fund for this, starting with this first 5%. Later on, I'll try to make everything more legit. But for now, just check out the Google survey link in the description below. And it'll be only for those who are students in high school or undergrad. And later on, you know, I'll try to do some verification to make sure that whoever the winner is, you know, is a student. And in addition to the giveaway, basically, I'll also be offering a 1-hour kind of career consultation with me. Of course, you don't have to chat with me if you don't want to, but just something that I wanted to offer in addition as well. In addition to the giveaway, as I have mentioned in my previous videos, I give $10 to the first commenter and a random comment. So here are our winners for today. And so if that's you, just DM me on Instagram and I'll send you the cash. Lastly, you can earn $10 in Bitcoin if you sign up for Coinbase or Gemini using my link in the description below. You can also sign up for Webull or Moomoo and you'll be able to get some free stock. And there's some other affiliate links down there below and for ways for you to get some free money. So check those out in the description if you're interested. With that said, that concludes the video. I hope you found this journey so far interesting. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out.